Jill Brooks?
Yes.
Flowers for you?
For me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Who would send me flowers? Dearest Jill, I love you. I'll never stop loving you.
Right now, at this very moment, guess what's happening. No, you won't guess. Stuart's at his divorce attorney's right now, getting the settlement papers. And a little while from now, I am going to be $100,000 richer.
$100,000? That's an awful lot of money.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I can't deny I'm a little surprised that you asked for it.
Why are you surprised?
Well, it's just that I told you that with my inheritance, you're going to have all the money you'll need for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know, but that's your money. You see, I want something of my own. Something I've earned all by myself. Derek, don't you see, this is icing on the cake for us. Whew, just think of it. In a little while, I am going to be what you would call a rich woman.
Well, do you think you can wait that long?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I can. I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to be a lot happier once I get that money.
You mean you can actually get higher than this, huh?
You watch me. Now that I've got you back, the man I love, and all this money. In a little while, we will be married, and I'm going to be living in this house. Oh, Derek, think of the life we're going to have.
Yeah. Look, this money you're trying to get from Brooks is not going to hold up anything, is it?
Now, you weren't listening to me. I got to pick up that check tonight. As a matter of fact, I better get going. You know, I wouldn't want to keep Stuart waiting. Oh, one other thing, you know. Once this divorce settlement paper is signed, with all of Stuart's connections, it should take a couple of days to get the divorce pushed through. And then we are going to be married. Finally.
That is what excites me. After everything we've been through, we're going to be together again. It's really going to happen for us, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Hey, listen, I got to run. I got to pick up my check, my son, and my life, and leave his house.
That we're going to be married. Now, how could he have found out?
Not that it makes much difference, but why do you think Brooks knows about us?
He told me when I had it out with him this morning.
Had it out with him? $100,000 not enough money?
I didn't get $100,000.
But when you called me on the phone last night, you said that you had the check in your hand.
I know. He gave me a check, all right. It was no good.
Stuart Brooks gave you a bad check?
No, it wasn't a bad check. He stopped payment on the check. Can you believe the gull of that man? Making me believe that I had that money right there in my hand and then pulling the rug out from underneath me. He had the whole thing planned. It was a setup. So when I came back to him and I told him I wasn't going to take this anymore.
That's when he told you that he knew about our relationship.
Yeah. And he was so damn smug about his new settlement.
New settlement?
I don't get a dime. Not one dime. Now, can you believe that he would do that to me?
Obviously, it was very disappointing.
That was my money. He'd been holding that under my nose for months, and then he took it away.
Now, look, I'm going to make an agreement. You promise not to mention anything about Stuart Brooks and his money. And I'll promise to make you a richer woman than that check ever would have.
Oh, honey. sorry. It's just that I've been through so much with that man.
Remember our agreement.
Okay. But before it starts, there is one thing I want to tell you. Stuart said that the divorce could be over in a couple of days and we can get married right away.
Now, that's the best news I've heard in a long time. Look, we won't wait. As soon as you get the word from Brooks. And by the sound of it, he seems to know just how anxious we are.
But I still don't understand it. How in the world did he find out about us?
Oh, Elizabeth, I'm so glad you're home.
I'm anxious to see you, too.
Sit down, friend, please. Just sit down. Now, we must talk about your visit with Stuart Brooks. Now, tell me, just what went on over there today?
Mrs. Chancellor, before I tell you anything, I got a few questions I want some answers to.
Elizabeth, what is it that you want to know?
About my daughter. Just what you have in mind for her.
Then something did happen at the Brooks home. Elizabeth, please. What did you find out?
I didn't go there to spy.
But you did find out something, didn't you?
Stuart just wanted to talk to me. They're getting a divorce. I know that much.
Yes? When?
Stuart thinks it'll be in a few days, and why all the questions?
A few days, Elizabeth. Just think of it. No, Stuart is finally going to be free. With Jill removed, there's nothing standing in the way of you and Stuart. Nothing, Elizabeth. Now, tell me. About Jill.
Yes, that's my question. What about my daughter? Stuart knew a whole lot about that girl's plans, and I can't help wondering how he found out. What have you got to do with this, Mrs. Chancellor? I'm convinced that somehow, and I don't know how, but somehow it's because of you that Stuart knew about Derek and Jill.
Then he does know about them. He is aware of their plans to marry. And knowing this, Elizabeth, are you saying it influenced a certain decision that Stuart had to make?
I'd say it influenced it a lot.
How so?
Well, for one thing, the divorce settlement. Stuart's getting out of the marriage without giving Jill anything.
Jill's getting nothing. Now, that is what you are telling me.
Not one dime.
Not even a scrap from his table. After all those months of torturing the man, literally holding him hostage, Jill is finally settling for a divorce to free Stuart. And she is walking away empty-handed. Oh, Elizabeth, this news that you brought me has truly made my day.
Mrs. Chancellor, this plan of yours, I know that somehow it involves me and my daughter. Now I'm asking you, what have you got in mind for us?
Elizabeth, you will know soon enough. As for Jill, she will know too, very soon.